High five 英会話
But in that case, maybe we feel awkward. Oh, we can't communicate. I can't communicate with you. Just question, but we can't understand what they say. And at the time, how do you manage? Like,
Well, I'm a very shy person myself, at least in person. Like, it's very easy to talk to you because we've talked a lot in the past,
yeah.
and it doesn't bother me that you that we have an audience right now because it's like they're not here. Like I might feel very different if like we were talking and you had like a bunch of students over there like listening to us, then I might be more awkward and I might even forget how to speak English.
Okay, very nervous.
But but I do think at a certain point you have to push yourself, even if you feel awkward and it's scary.
Okay.
It's hard to do, but you know you can only get very limited practice in a classroom, and there's nothing is quite the same as speaking with a native speaker.
Yeah.
So like unless like your teacher grew up in like an English speaking country and speaks fluent English with like a perfect accent, then it's not going to be enough to get really good. But I don't want to say like teachers don't do a good job. Like there's still a benefit of having a teacher in your own language who can explain stuff to you in your language and understands like what parts of the language are difficult for you to understand. Because like as an English speaker, like by the time like I started actually learning English, I was already fluent in English, you know? So the parts that were difficult for me to learn will be very different from what is difficult for a Japanese person to learn, or a Spanish person to learn, or an Indonesian person to learn. Like, because each language is different, they'll have their own areas that are a struggle, and another native speaker of their language will have an easier time knowing what parts they struggle with and good ways to explain it. Because if you ask me why something is in English, like for example, sometimes like a Japanese person will ask like, why does English use the word the here? And
Oh.
and it's like the is the most common word in the English language. It's not even close. Like it's ridiculous if you ever like look at an English text and actually count thes. It it's insane. So like it's hard for me to think of the explanation. Like why is the used here? I mean, it's used everywhere.
Actually, the next topic is the.
Oh no.
Wow, you brought it. Brought it up. Okay.
Well, I I th I think oftentimes the simplest parts are the hardest to explain
Yeah, right. That's right.
because it's really hard to explain it without just using it, you know? But on that note, let's talk about the.
Wow, you're a challenger.